I had a call recently from a fellow asking about the identity of that bright object in the early morning sky before dawn, and I told him it was Venus. But he said, no, that can't be because he's seen Venus and it was in the evening sky. Well, he's right, he has seen Venus in the evening sky, but that was last summer, and since then, Venus has moved over into the morning sky. So why is that? If we look at this animation, you see the Sun at the center, and we see Mercury, Venus, and Earth orbiting the Sun. Mercury has the smallest orbit, of course, and then Venus, and then Earth. As seen from the Earth looking towards the Sun, Mercury's motion seems to carry it first east and then west and then back to the east of the Sun, and Venus does the same thing but more slowly. We call that elongation, their distance, apparent distance away from the Sun as seen from the Earth. Of course, when they're farthest away from the Sun, we call that greatest elongation, and that's when they're most visible. If they're along the line from the Sun to the Earth, either on this side or the far side, then we can't see them at all. So we see them in the evening sky, and then in the morning sky, and then in the evening sky. We see them in the morning sky if they're west of the Sun, and of course the evening sky if they're east of the Sun. Well, we're coming up on an interesting time right now in early January when both Venus and Mercury will be at maximum elongation almost at the same time. And you can see that here approaching in the animation, and we'll also be able to see it in the sky. So here we see the morning sky about the first and second week of January, and there you see Mercury about this is about 10 till 7 in the morning, about 40 minutes before sunrise, and Mercury's low on the horizon. Venus is up there to the upper right and much easier to see. It'll be there for a long time, but look what happens if we advance stellarium here 24 hours at a time. Within just a few days, Mercury is once again sinking back down towards the horizon, closer to the Sun, and disappearing into the pre-dawn twilight. It really goes fast. Binoculars will probably help you pick that out, but again, the best time is around the 8th, 9th, 10th of January. Over in the evening skies in January, we have some of the best bright stars all year. Starting right there at almost due south at about 9:30 is Orion's belt, 3 stars in a row that point down to the brightest star in the sky, Sirius in Canis Major. Then they point up there to this other bright star, Aldebaran, in Taurus the Bull. Just below is Rigel, one of Orion's knees. So those 3 bright stars, Sirius and then Rigel and then up to Aldebaran, get you started on what we call the winter oval or the winter hexagon. There's Capella high overhead, a very bright star, and then we have Castor and Pollux, the Gemini twins, and then down to Procyon in the constellation of Canis Minor, and back down to Sirius in Canis Major completes the winter oval or hexagon. Out in the middle of the oval, almost in the middle, you can find the bright star Betelgeuse, which is one of Orion's shoulders. The winter oval is a guide to the winter Milky Way, which runs sort of diagonally right through the winter oval. Even if you live in an urban area where the Milky Way is dimmed by scattered light, you can still tell where the Milky Way would be, or is, because of the way it runs across the winter oval. Over in the east is the bright star Regulus in the constellation Leo the Lion. Leo and Regulus will be with us for some months now, well into the spring, even as the winter oval moves over into the west.